Welcome to Qigong practice. Veronika and I are going to lead you through this very powerful and magical ancient practice called Qigong. What is Qigong? Have you ever watched a movie where someone had all this energy flowing through their hands? Maybe Dragon Ball Z, or you're an Avatar fan where they do air bending or water bending. Most popular, I would say, is Star Wars. The Jedis, the Force. How do the Jedis train to get that Force to flow through them and move things with their body and their mind? Qigong is the start of it. Now, before we get into it and provide too many of these secrets to you, let's begin by warming up. And we're going to start to take you on this journey slowly so that you can cultivate the energy or Qi that flows through all of us so that you can access that power, so you can access the Force. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's begin with a light warm-up in a horse stance. Make sure when you're in your horse stance, you stay grounded, you're rooted. We're going to keep the spine upright and shoulders relaxed. Let's begin, turning side to side, nice and easy, as we gently allow our hands to tap our kidneys in the back. This is important because our kidneys are where our Qi is stored throughout our lifetime. And sitting on top of our kidneys is the adrenal gland. In today's society, we tend to get adrenal fatigue, so much stress. So what we're doing here is we're priming the pump. We're priming this battery of the adrenal glands and kidneys, according to traditional Chinese medicine, so that we can draw upon that Qi and move the Force. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next warm-up, feet together. We want to take care of our knees. The knees are so important. Come on down and warm the knees up with your hands first. Notice that Veronika's modifying. She's not going down as far as I am. I invite you all to listen to your body and modify as needed. Next, we're going to support the knees on the outside. Avoid pushing down on your kneecap, okay? So supporting here. And let's make some circles here, just warming up the knees. You can go low, but that's not the goal. Just go as low as you need to gently warm these knees up. Good. Other direction. All right, a few times as we mobilize the knee joint, lubricate the knee joints so we can prepare for this powerful practice. All right, good. So back to horse stance. We're going to begin the Qigong series. There's 8 movements, and we're going to focus on the first 2 in today's episode. What I want you to get, what I want you to really get, and why I'm so inspired by Qigong, is we all have access to open up the Qi flow in our body. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's these 12 meridians where the energy flows freely. And we know that our health is directly proportional to the free flow of, yes, blood, yes, nerve impulse, but also Qi. So there's the 12, but then there's the 8 extraordinary meridians. And this particular Qigong practice, each movement pattern is designed to specifically open up these extra highways. You can think of them like carpool lanes that allow the energy to flow freely. We can bypass the typical 12 and open up all 8, and the Force is flowing. The background behind this is that Qigong was created thousands and thousands of years ago, and it's often referred to as the grandparent to Tai Chi, which is why we practice Qigong before we begin our Tai Chi practice. There's a lot more to say about Qigong. That's, I think, a good start. And for our martial artists out there, did you know that this was designed by a famous general nearly 1,000 years ago to cultivate that energy, to make his warriors more powerful for battle? But what happened was they got so much energy, they got so powerful, their health also improved. So now we're offering this to you. And this is why this is one of the most popular practices worldwide to help improve our health. You ready to get started? Me too. Ready? Awesome, I can see you're set up. So let's go ahead and put our feet just underneath our hips, nice and comfortable, shoulders relaxed. This first one of the series of 8 is called Lifting Heaven or Lifting Sky. connect the breath with the movement, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Ready. Breathe in as you slowly lift your palms to the sky, reach all the way up and hold. Gaze upwards and slowly, softly breathe out as you bring your hands down. Good. We'll do it again. Breathe in slowly through the nose, all the way up, a little higher this time, and hold. Notice that the body is still, but imagine and feel how the qi is flowing freely throughout the body. And out through the mouth. Very good. Don't rush it. You're doing great. We're going to do it a few more times. Veronika's going to continue. I'm going to point out a few things. A little bit slower. Notice how smooth and soft her movements are. Can you reach a little bit more? Breathe in a little bit more. Great. Relax and hold that. And breathe out. Very good. This feels more peaceful. Again, slow, fluid breath. The energy is coming all the way up. She's holding still. Bring down. The chi's coming down. It's like you're being showered. You're showering yourself with the energy. Bringing it down. It's looking good. We're going to do it one more time. Breath comes in. I want to point something out energetically that's subtle yet powerful. Let's pay attention to our hands. You can watch Veronika's hands and pay attention to your hands. And slowly out. I want you to pay attention to the qi, the energy field, the vibration flowing around your hand. And once it gets below the heart, you might notice a subtle increase. It's really cool. Great job. I want to do one with you. One more with me. Lifting heaven, lifting sky. Breathe in, smooth, relaxed, fluid movements. Good. You've got it. You're going slower than I am. Hold. Out. Feeling more relaxed, more deeply connected every time. I feel so good. I don't know if I need the other 7, but they're designed in a particular way that these build off of each other. We'll begin number 2. We're going to get into a nice deep horse stance this time, okay? I want to also point out, I didn't say this earlier, all of these can be done seated, okay? So if you're having difficulty standing or you're not able to stand, you can do these from a seated position. Remember, Veronika's modifying, so you don't have to get as low as me, and maybe I shouldn't get this low because I'm going to feel the burn, but the point is, get rooted, get connected to the earth. This is called hunter draws the bow and arrow to hunt the eagle. Pretty cool, right? This was made for warriors. So we're going to grab our imaginary bow and arrow, so cross your arms. We're going to aim to our left first, draw the string back, slowly as you breathe in, and an L shape with your left hand, looking through that L, keep your arms parallel with the ground, and release the string. Breathe out as both hands come down. All right, we'll do it again, other direction. Cross your arms, draw the string back slowly. As you pull that tension back on the string, you increase the breath at maximum tension, maximum breath, release the string. Breathe out. Excellent. We're going to continue again to the left. A little bit slower. Very good. You want to focus on expanding the chest, bring those shoulder blades together, and release. Out. Looks like you've got it. One more time. Good. Bring it back, bring those shoulder blades together, and release. Good. It's about being balanced and connected. We're going to do it again, both directions. Wait for me. Wait, I know you're excited. Hold on a second here. All right, we're going to go to the left. Here we go. Grab the string, bring it back, breathe in, bring those shoulder blades together, release. breathe out softly. Feel your hands. Can you feel that energy flow in your hands? Last time, other side, breathe in. We're gonna hold it a little longer this time, for real. I want you to notice when you wanna breathe out, you wanna go, don't do that. Control, ready, together, out. Don't let that wind just come out on its own. Does that make sense? Very good. Now let's tie these two together in a flow. When you practice Qigong, you can do each movement pattern 2 times in a row, 5 times, 10, even 20. The more you do it, the more deeply you get, the treasures reveal themselves. So I'm gonna encourage you, and I might assign some homework. I haven't decided yet, depends on how you do today, but just consider this is an introduction to the Qigong movement patterns, and you can do this several more times. We're just doing it a few times here to give you the basics. And my intention is throughout this series to add layers of things to pay attention to, feel, and notice as you deepen this practice. So number 1 and number 2 of the 8 brocades. Feet underneath your hips. Get grounded. You don't have to be in a horse stance to be grounded. You can just slightly bend your knees, and if you're seated, your sit bone, sink your sit bone into the chair. Relax your wrists, so your wrists just gently sit down, and that opens up this pathway. If they're just like this, or all the way down like that, you can block the Qi. You want everything to flow smoothly. Lifting heaven or lifting sky. Slowly breathe in through the nose. Lift the palms to the sky, all the way up. Hold. Remember to control the exhale in 3, 2, 1. Out, softly. Do you notice you're able to hold your breath a little longer now? Very good. One more time together. In through the nose, softly. Reaching. Out. Can you feel the space is different? You feel different? Wonderful. Moving into the next pattern, hunter draws the bow and arrow to hunt the eagle. Horse stance. Aiming to the left first, cross your arms, draw the string back, slowly breathe in, stay rooted, expand the chest, careful where you aim, don't hit your neighbor, release, breathe out softly. This is about being in control of our body, mind, and energy. Other side, in, hold momentarily, release, breathe out. Excellent. Let's bring our feet back underneath our hips. So I'm observing that you're really getting it, so great job. So let's go ahead and move into the rest of them. I'm just gonna give you a little teaser. We're gonna show you what the 8 look like. And then next episode, we'll work on number 3 and number 4. Ready for the next one? Great. Feet underneath your hips. Number 3 is called separating heaven and separating earth. One palm will be up, all the way up. The other palm will be down. Starting with the left hand going up. Breathe in as you slowly reach that hand up to the sky. Make sure your right palm is down, gazing upwards. Hold for just a moment, and then softly breathe out. We're not going to get into too much depth here. This is just an opportunity for you to see, follow along, and learn. In, other side, reach. Notice and allow that rib cage to expand. Feel that expansion in your rib cage, and softly breathe out. Good. One more time, both sides. As usual, if you're able to, reach a little bit more without causing stress in the body, like a little more. Notice my hands, if I can open those hands up. Breath in a little bit more. Relax, allow that Qi to flow, and release. Breathe out. You're doing great. And so are you. Other side, last time. Bring it up. And down and out. It feels really good to take this time for ourselves and change our nervous system. Really taking this opportunity to not be so fast, to really just take time for some self-care, move slowly and breathe. Keep it up. Number 4, horse stance. This one is called hands on your hips. This one is called Wise Owl Looks Over Shoulder. What's gonna happen is we're gonna turn our waist and then our head and just focus on relaxing these muscles here, all right? We're actually gonna go to the left first. Breathing in through the nose. Ready? Here we go. Wise Owl looks over shoulder, turning, breathing in, turn, turn, turn. Turn the head as far as it'll go and relax. Sometimes the shoulder creeps up, so just bring it down and softly breathe out. I notice and appreciate how Veronika's modifying. You don't have to turn as far as me. And if you can turn farther than me, awesome, go for it. Turn, turn, turn. Relax the shoulders if they're not already relaxed. And slowly breathe out. Good, I can see you're in sync with us. Keep it up. One more time, both sides. Breathing in, all the way. Relax the shoulder. Hold. Breathe out. Continuing to relax these muscles in here. Last time, other side. And out. I want to point out that it's important to listen to and honor the signals of our body. Maybe you can go this far, right? And you can push a little bit more. But don't let the ego engage so that you overdo it and compromise the integrity of your body, strain ligaments and tendons. Listen to your body. Farther isn't necessarily better. It's about moving your body through its full range of motion and then push it a little bit, okay? And I think you got it. So less is more here. Next one, deep in the horse stance. This one is called Dragon Drinks from the River. We're gonna do it once, both directions. And Veronika is gonna modify. You're gonna do a modification. It can be a little intense here in the hips, so just listen to your body. Come on down. Dragon has a drink. All right, filtered water, that's very good. Come on up. We're gonna shift our weight to our left leg and straighten the right. Good. Come on down, shift your weight to the other side. Come on up. Back to center. One more time, come on down. And up. And then back the other way. Come on down, shift your weight. Come on up. And back to center. That's feeling good. I think we can go one more time. Shift your weight, straighten that leg. You're gonna feel the intensity in this hip. It's opening and mobilizing the joint. Shift your weight to the other side. Come on up, back to center. Last drink, come on down. Slowly come up, and then back the way we came. Are you feeling it? Because I'm feeling it. I just felt a little pop in my hip. That's good. We're mobilizing. We're moving. Life is movement. I'm feeling it so much, I'm starting to break a sweat a little bit. Are you sweating? This is good. This is a workout, you know. Workout for warriors, soldiers, and really warriors in life. Bring the peace. Next one, feet underneath our hips. We just did the Dragon Drinks from the River, so nourishing kidneys. Okay. Nourishing the kidneys is one of my favorite ones. It's so nourishing. Remember we talked about hitting our kidneys in the back earlier because of the adrenal glands? Well, here we get to literally charge these kidneys up. We'll get into it in the appropriate episode, but just consider when our hands come back to our kidneys, we're charging them up with Qi and energy. Ready? Breathe in as you float your hands up to the sky, all the way up. Slight arch in your back, not too much. And then softly breathe out. When the hands come down together, you very likely will feel that buzzing around your hands. Pay attention to it. Breathe in, bring your hands to your kidneys. Breathe out through the kidneys, now down the back of your legs, all the way down. Nice, gentle stretch. Enjoy this stretch. Oh, that feels good. Slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time. I like to give a little wiggle here. Just kind of wake up the spine. Again, breathe in, fold the hands up, and remember to watch Veronika, how she is modifying. There's more than one way to do these movements. Breathe out. Nice. Feels good. To the kidneys, in, all the way down, breathe out. Notice how Veronika is going slowly. She's modifying, she's bending forward, but not all the way down. That's not the goal. Listen to and honor the signals of your body. Maybe over time, go ahead and bring it up. Over time, we'll get a little more loose through this practice. To complete this movement pattern, we're gonna bring the hands up to shoulder height, breathe in, like you're painting a fence with your fingers, and out. Very grounding. And it brings completion to a very deep and powerful movement pattern. Kidneys are so important. Now, here's where we get a little energized. This is the fun one, or the really fun ones. In fact, this next one is called Wide Eyes to Amass Power. And this is our daughter Milana's favorite one. When we're in Tai Chi class, she'll see me, getting ready to do this one, and she runs up to the front of class and gets ready because there's some punching in there. So, have some fun with it. These last two are also designed to bring the energy up to get ready for the battle of life or whatever you're gonna get into, a sport. So let that energy move through. Okay, horse dance. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our fists back in just a moment. You can watch me and or watch Veronika, either way, but we're gonna bring our fists back. We'll have a big breath in, we're gonna hold it like a spring, and then we're gonna release those fists out, together with an exhale. So you have the breath in and let it out. There can be vocalization. It could also be like a Qi, but just let that energy go. We might even get to hear from Veronika. I don't know, we'll see. So, wide eyes to amass power. Ready? Breath in, bring it in. Hold it, wait for me, and nice. Breathe in with your right hand, bring your right fist back. Slow, powerful breath out as you push that fist forward. Bring the other fist back. In, out, amassing power. These last two, big power, like in the beginning. Breath in, hold it. Nice. In, hold. Go, Veronika. All right, good one. I felt your energy come through the camera, nice. And finally, shake illness from the body. I like this one. It's a great way to wake up in the morning too, get the blood going. So you're gonna come up onto your toes, onto the heels. Toes to heels, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In, out, out. Find your rhythm. We're gonna observe Veronika here for a moment. She's not bringing her heels off because she's modifying, and that's okay because the forces are still going down. What you wanna feel is the striking of the heel, or the forces in the heel, going up through the spine to the top of the head. This is a great movement pattern to pump the lymphatic system, pumping the lymphatic system, getting the Qi flowing up to the top. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we go into this particular movement pattern, it drives the Qi up the spinal cord. It's powerful. So a few more times. Just let that energy go, let it go, and go. Excellent. Shake it out a little bit. All right. And we're gonna close with a Tai Chi ball, horse dance. Now that the Qi is flowing through us, we've completed the 8 brocades, we wanna form that Tai Chi ball. Remember I was talking about that buzzing in our hands, that feeling? This is the time to really cultivate and get connected to it. So Veronika, with me for just a moment, let's start the first time with a small ball for our viewer at home. And if you aren't feeling this Qi quite yet, bring your hands even closer together, a little bit closer together without touching. And a little closer. See, Veronika's already feeling it, right? And I want you to do, Veronika, is turn your hands like that so they can get even closer and your fingers aren't touching. Excellent. And once your hands are this close, okay, you can bring it around, but once they're about this close, bring your wrist out and in. Out and in, just a few times, and you're gonna start to feel it when your hands are close together and you pump the wrist back and forth. Now, if you're already feeling it, go ahead and bring those hands out a little bit more and play with the boundary of where and when you can start to or stop to feel that Qi sensation. Cultivate the Qi, get centered, and this is your reward. This is one of the many rewards. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna ground by taking that Qi first and put it back in your body. We did all the work. Now we're gonna put that energy back into our body, wherever it may need to go. Maybe there's a sore area you're working on. Maybe there's an organ system you're working on, your knees, and just give that Qi back to yourself a little bit. And when you're ready, we're gonna ground all that energy into our dantian, the energetic center, located 1.5 inches just underneath your navel. And you can imagine water in a lake, and you just want all of it to settle. All that Qi is settling right here. And depending on what is going on today, you may also choose to or feel called to anchor that Qi in your heart. Thank you for taking this time to walk through this journey with us of Qigong, the 8 brocades, 8 movements. You're well on your way. You're doing great. You're actually ahead of the class, so keep it up. Next series, or the next episode, we're going to focus on number 3 and number 4. Great work. See you next time.